ahead and turn it over to you, Lauren. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see what you have for us.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's all take a deep breath. I've had lots of coffee. If you, actually, I've got a couple questions if that's okay. I've got slides. We got a whole presentation. It's brand new. Megan, what I would love for you to do is make sure you're sharing this link in your group, because I'm just looking that since we're on my Zoom, it's me going live and people might be like, who's that Lauren Golden chick going live in Megan's group? Like, that's weird. So if you want to just like sound the alarms, like you guys tag your friends in this amazing Tech Savvy Pros bookkeeping group and make sure that they're here. This is a brand new training that I put together for you guys. I'm not going to lie. If you do know me, I did copy and paste some slides because we work smarter, not harder. We're going to talk about that. But I've put together what I'm calling kind of the 7 myths that new or existing freelancers might be believing that might actually be sabotaging your success. And I'm really excited about this. Before I share my screen and we dive in though, if you guys could help me get to know you, that would be great. Like I already typed in the chat, I feed off your energy and the eyeballs that are watching. So let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're watching. Otherwise, I'm just 36-year-old lady sitting in a freezing cold basement all by herself, waving her arms around. And that's really lonely. So yes, give me the emojis and talk to me. I probably won't be typing to you in the chat, but just know I can see you even when I share my screen. So here's what I want to know from you. Tell me, how long have you been in business? If you've already started freelancing, tell me, like, how long have you been in business? If you're brand new, say, I'm brand new. It's amazing. I just want to get a pulse check because it will help me guide the conversation if I can kind of get a pulse check on who I'm talking to. So how long have you been in business? Are you brand new? What do you do? I don't want to assume everybody here is a bookkeeper because Megan knows a lot of people. So let me know your niche in the comments. What do you do? Or are you still figuring it out? If you're still figuring it out, let me know. Say, that's me. I would love to know that. It took me a long time. I'm still figuring out what I want to do. I'm not going to lie. Like we go through these evolutions and we grow and we change. And then let me know. I see some familiar faces and names, but let me know if you have any idea who I am. I know that sounds really weird, but it is a helpful question for you guys to answer for me because it depends on how much of my backstory I'll actually go into. If everybody here already knows me, like I don't want to tell you again, I guess. But if you don't know me, it's important for context. I want you to know what got me into this freelancing world. I want you to know what makes me qualified to have Megan ask me to come in here and teach you guys because she cares a lot about her community. And so I want to give some context. Okay, we've got some bookkeepers, Kendall knows me. Hi, Kendall. That's so great. Okay, Jessica says I motivated her to start. That's amazing. She wants to do Jamie wants to do bookkeeping, but she hasn't started. Awesome. I saw somebody said they had been in business for 3 years, but I already lost my scroll. Okay, keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. Hey, Donna, the free mama leader. I know. Although it's confusing if you're just jumping on and you don't know Megan, and she's got her free mama swag on today too. Erin's still figuring it out. She's had some clients. She landed a dream job. Okay. All right. We're figuring it out. She's a bookkeeper for the school. All right. VA business. We've got one client. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Sarah. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Danielle, 1 year as a copywriter. That's amazing. Okay, cool. All right. That gives me a little bit of context. So mostly new. Some of you guys have been doing it for a little while. Super, super helpful. Okay, I'm going to ask for your help a few more times during this because again, otherwise we're just a middle-aged lady sitting in our basement by ourselves. So I might ask you to talk to me a few times, but what I would love for you to do right now is just let me know if you can see my screen here in just 1 second. How'd that do? Can you guys see my screen?
Make sure they can see it.
Yeah, are we good?
I think there's a little bit of a delay.
So always.
I can see it, but I don't know if that means anything.
Kendall says yes. Jessica's got a thumbs up. That's so very exciting. Okay, cool. So today we were talking about success skills for freelancers. That was my very put together title that a few weeks ago when Megan and I decided to do this, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to talk about yet. That was my generic thing, but it still rings true for today's presentation. How many of you, whether you've started freelancing or you're brand new, you would like to be successful at it? Just say success in the comments if you are here because you would like to be successful at what you're doing. So we're actually going to go through two things today. I'll show you in just a second, but we're going to be talking about the exact shifts that you need to make if you are here because you want to be successful. And that means landing more clients, earning more money, and hopefully doing it in a way where you don't like wake up hating your life every day. Because I don't know about you, like that was actually me when I was at a 9-to-5 job. I actually liked the work. I was quite dissatisfied with my life. I just wasn't able to allocate time in a way that reflected my values when I worked for someone else. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about in this training to get just lay of the land so you know what you signed up for. Number one, we're going to talk about the 7 myths. This is the first time I've ever given this presentation. So for those of you who know me, if you like it, let me know. Maybe we'll do it again in the Free Mama community. But it's the 7 myths that stop new freelancers from being successful and what we need to do instead. And I'm going to walk you guys through my proven freedom framework that's helped thousands of women and some men make real money freelancing. Okay. Are you guys here? Are you with me? Are you ready? Are you excited? Okay. Stay excited. Megan's excited. Thank you so much, Megan. She's the best. Which, speaking of Megan, you guys, I have gotten to meet Megan several times in real life. This like wild, wild west of the internet. Like my husband and I talk about this often. Like my best friends are online, which seems really a kind of weird. Except at this point, I've been in the online game long enough that I've gotten to meet a lot of my online friends in real life, and Megan is one of them. So guys, just give Megan a massive amount of love right now for inviting me into our community, for showing up for you guys so consistently and being that resource for you for all things bookkeeping, motivation, like answering your questions and just being such a consistent player in this space. I have so much love and admiration for her. So tag Megan, embarrass her, make her blush. And just thank you, Megan, for inviting me to come teach your students. I can't believe it. I've known you like 4 years, but this is actually the first time we've ever done this. So it's really, really exciting for me. And Charity gave you context, but the way that Megan and I actually came together was through the Free Mama movement. If you don't know me, my name's Lauren Golden. I'm the founder of the Free Mama and the Free Mama movement. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about that a little bit later on, but this is where everything started for Megan. If you've been reading her emails, you know that she actually had this skill set. She was working as an accountant, but she didn't realize her ability to transfer her own skills. Again, in her case, she used the same hard skills, but you don't have to in the world of freelancing. You can learn new hard skills. But I do think that that was, in addition to some of the beliefs we're going to talk about today, one of the things that made Megan kind of rush to the top in the Free Mama community in terms of not just the income that she was making, but by being so darn coachable and visible through her experience in the Free Mama movement, also created a massive amount of visibility for her, which directly translated to more clients more quickly that actually came to her rather than her having to go out and find them. So I'm here and pretty much every day of my life. Yes, I have a saying at the Free Mama, I want to help you live a totally awesome, guilt-free life. But I believe the best way to do that is to make money, and not because I think money equals happiness, but I think money equals freedom. Let me tell you why. I am obsessed with time. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with time. If you too value your time, say time in the comments. Let me know you're here with me. The reason I'm obsessed with making money and helping other people make money is the more money you have, the more of your time you own. So think about it. If you have to go to a 9-to-5 job to pay your bills, how much of your time do you actually own? Not very much. But if you can learn how to make more money more quickly, and then learn how to save it, invest it, and do all those other things that we're not going to talk about in today's presentation, now all of a sudden you buy back your time. So some things that freelancing have done for me, like I've been able to spend literally months at a time on trips with my family in an RV. Do I still work? Yeah, a little bit, but we're talking like a couple hours a week, maybe a couple hours a day, not sitting at a desk from 9 to 5 or wherever you're off at a classroom or a doctor's office or whatever. So I am passionate about helping you make money, not because I'm greedy, not because I'm financially motivated. I'm actually not. I'm very freedom motivated. And I believe that our currency in today's day and age is money, and it will help buy you freedom for you to go in an RV or be with your family or go to the beach or whatever the heck it is that you want to do. But I don't just want to help you make money, because money's really cool. We talked about why, but I want to help you do it quickly and efficiently, because there's a lot of people out there making money, again, maybe at a 9 to 5, but they're not doing it quickly or efficiently. And that's what I want to help you do today. And just in case we haven't met, I'm going to go through this real fast, but what I teach actually works. You're going to hear me say that a couple times. Yes, Megan is proof, but Megan's not the only proof. So wherever you're at, the Free Mama movement will help you in this freedom framework, because we go all the way from helping you get your first paying client to your 1K months, with which for a lot of us, that's life-changing. When I first started freelancing, I really just needed like $2,000 a month to like not poop my pants every day that I was going to quit my job. Like, we're not talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about a couple $1,000s, and you guys don't even realize how accessible this is. You are so close. And I hope that by the end of today's presentation, you believe that too. But we've got women making more than that. They shattered their own glass ceilings. They're making $5,000 a month, even $10,000 a month, crossing that 6-figure mark and more. Your host, Megan, is actually one of those people. We have 3 coveted $1 million Free Mama awards, which for some of you might feel very intimidating. And I get it. In 2014, that would have been like, that feels crazy. But I just want you to know what's possible for you. So like Megan said, my name is Lauren Golden. I'm the founder of the Free Mama. I'm a mom of 3. Daphne is 10, Henry is 8, Audrey is 5, and she is about as sassy as she looks in that picture. My amazing husband, Justin, is also a freelancer. He actually runs a Google Ads agency. And so he very much is also super freedom motivated, but this has worked for our whole family. So one of the myths we're actually going to talk about today, remind me if I don't remember on my own to circle back to the fact that both my husband and I freelance. We are both self-employed, because I think there's lots of limiting beliefs around people's ability to do that and have like a sustainable lifestyle and career. So I started the Free Mama movement back in 2017. We turned 5 in September. I will cry, FYI, to revolutionize the current belief system that moms have to make a choice between being successful at work or being an awesome mom. And yes, this whole business started and community started at a personal complex that I had because I felt like a really crappy mom, because I was working a 9 to 5. I grew up with a stay-at-home mom. I thought that's what good moms did. They stayed at home. But when I went back to work after maternity leave, I actually realized like, I love working. I'm pretty driven. Like, I'm pretty ambitious. I like using my brain in ways that we don't as parents. It just looks different. And I made peace with being a working mom, but I realized that the rest of the world hadn't really caught up with how I felt about it. And so I started the Free Mama to help other moms kind of work through that guilt and kind of blow off the status quo as well. A lot of you know me, so I'm gonna go really fast here. But basically my son was born in 2014. So that's when I became a mom of 2. That's when I felt really stretched thin. My husband was pretty much neglected. You can read between the lines on that one. I had a newborn, I had a 2-year-old, I was working a full-time job. And that is when I started my crusade of like, I've got to get out of here, but like we rely on my income. So I started Googling how to work from home. I tried secret shopping. I tried those like surveys where you make like 3 pennies. I tried network marketing. None of this stuff worked. And it turns out it was for good reason, because nobody ever talks about how likely you are to fail in those things. And I don't have statistics on freelancing in today's presentation, but let's just say it is statistically data proven one of the most lucrative and legitimate side gigs, work from home paths that you could possibly choose. In 2015, after feeling like a complete failure, I'd like worked my butt off and like ruined all of my relationships pushing a network marketing product. I learned about freelancing and I realized like, oh my gosh, if other people can do this, I can do this too. By 2016, I won't get into my whole story, but those of you who know me know that I finally got the courage to pursue freelancing full time after I had a miscarriage. And so I left my job pretty abruptly. I'm not going to lie. I don't necessarily recommend that, but it took a huge act of courage. And I actually replaced my full-time salary that full year freelancing. And I was working literally half the time. And I got to do things I never thought I would be able to do as a working mom, like take my kids places during the week when they weren't super crowded, which was awesome and life-changing. And then by 2017, I started getting clients where like, I felt on top of the world. Like I was being fairly compensated. I was not having to work that many hours to produce results. They appreciated me. They like wanted to give me money. It was like the most satisfying thing that I had never felt in a job I had ever had. And I realized like all of these things about myself. Like I made so many mental shifts in 2017 around what was possible for me and for my life. And remember, that was the year that I finally started the Free Mama movement because I wanted to teach other people how to do it well and learn from my mistakes. So since then, thousands of people have used my methods, the freedom framework, all of my teachings to go on and start their own business, which means two things are true. Say two things are true in the chat so I know you're still here. Number one, it works. I know what I'm talking about. And number two, if it works for them, it works for you. You can do what we're talking about today too. Here's just a bunch of free mamas. I don't know why I had it in here other than they're just amazing. And I love you guys so much. So how do you go from, if you don't know this about me, I really love two things. Those two things are iced coffee and Britney Spears. How do you go from like confused, like, how are people doing this? How are people making money? Like, why does this feel difficult? Like, what are all the secret sauce things other people know that I don't know, which by the way, that's a lie. That's an illusion. But how do you just go from like stressed out, confused, not knowing what to do to like, by the way, I saw this gif of Britney and I about died. I'm like, she is fantastic. To like rolling in money. Like you have clients coming to you, you're feeling secure and stable and not just like freelancing is this side thing or like I can make some money, but like it can actually be a long-term career. It can be like Megan said at the very beginning, an actual lifestyle change. My life is not the same. It will never be the same again. I believe in this so much. It is crazy. And the answer to that is actually what I just said, belief. Remember the question? How do I go from this Brittany to this Brittany? The answer is belief. I'll explain, but if you're with me and you hear me, write belief in the chat. My favorite quote of all time, I think I have yet to count, maybe someone can count for me. In my book, I think I say it like 5 or 6 times, but it's Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. If you are listening to me right now and you have any nasty voices in your head saying things like, well, of course it's easy for Lauren and Megan, or, you know, if I would have started earlier, or, well, Megan was an accountant, or Lauren's an extrovert, or blah, 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 all these different stories. And you're like, well, they can do it, but I can't. You will lose. You will lose. And so it's not about learning new skills or new strategies, although that's important as well. It starts with making sure we've got the right belief system in our head. And so with that, like I just said, strategies and tactics and skills are important, but if you don't think they're actually going to work for you, none of it matters. None of that stuff matters. Okay. So that's why I'm focusing today's training for Megan and for all of you on the 7 myths that stop new freelancers, people who are smarter than a lot of other people on the internet, by the way, making more money than you right now. If that doesn't piss you off, get mad with me. Okay. You are smarter and more capable than other people who are ahead of you because their belief is different. So let's go. I'm not kidding. Like, hopefully Megan warned you I like to yell. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling with you. I get very passionate. Okay.
Well, so I just put it in the chat. I said, tough love, guys, but let it sink in. Like if you feel personally attacked today, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because that means that you are having that negative belief.
Yep.
So
let's change it.
Yeah. Let her talk to you. Let her change your thought.
Yes. And I want to be really clear. Like, I was not born this way. Isn't there like a Lady Gaga, like, baby, I was born this way or whatever. I'm clearly not a singer. I'm a dancer, not a singer. But I was not born this way. I was not born this way. But if you believe in a growth mindset, you believe in your ability to change your mind. I have had to work on my money mindset. I have had to work in my personal belief system in myself. I've had to work on my courage. A lot of you guys are waiting for confidence. You don't need confidence. Confidence will come when you actually do it. You need the courage to take the next step forward. All right. Okay. Whew, I already warned Megan. I'm like, I have never given this presentation. I have no idea how long it's going to be. With that being said, I really hope to keep it to about an hour so that we've got like 30 minutes for questions. I will sit here as long as it takes though. Okay. The 7 myths that stop new freelancers from being successful. All right. Myth number 1, Say myth number 1. And then if this is you, or if any of these myths are you, say, that's me. It's okay. I've been there. I have been there. I have worked through it. Okay. It starts with awareness, which is what we're doing right now. We're building awareness. Once you have self-awareness, strong self-awareness is one of the keys to success. So once you have awareness, now we have the ability to reprogram our thoughts. So myth number 1 is you have to be an expert. What does this look like? It looks like you're trying to know everything before you even start. Maybe you're a course junkie, dare I say it. Maybe you're like Lauren Golden in 2014 when she watched every webinar on the internet, thinking if I just learned one more thing, I might feel ready. No, you're telling yourself you're not qualified, or you're not good enough, or you don't know enough. Who's this? Who am I talking to? You've got a tentative launch date. This is a big trigger for me, ladies. If you're in the Free Mama community, just know every time I see the word launch, I start breaking out in hives. You've got a tentative launch date set to any date other than today, right now. If you have not started, you better start your business today. I mean, right now. I mean, as soon as I'm done talking, if not before that. All right. It also looks like you are waiting for confidence before you start talking about your services. Remember, I told you that's literally not possible. It's the other way around, okay? Or you're working for free. You're still working for free. You're only focused on learning skills and not implementing them. Where are my watchers, my readers? You love a good YouTube video, but going out and actually doing that work, you're not ready. Yes, you are. Okay. Too many people are already doing this. Why would someone hire you? Megan's been in this game a long time. She's got an agency. Why would someone work with you? No, these are all sabotaging beliefs. Guys, I want to introduce you to Leandra. Leandra was not an expert. Leandra was a scientist turned high school math teacher, turned virtual assistant, turned mini chat expert. Notice how expert didn't come until the 4th thing. Like, she dabbled, she talked to a lot of people, and now she's been doing this for years. You don't just start as an expert because you learn and you watch. Okay. You become an expert through repetition of doing the task, and you deserve to be compensated for that along the way. Okay. So I'm going to challenge you guys with some new beliefs. Remember, we're changing our beliefs. We're reprogramming them. I have tremendous value to offer my clients. I have tremendous value to offer my clients. I want to be honest with you. A lot of people who come into the Free Mama community start as virtual assistants. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. Why do I recommend it? Because the barrier for entry is so low. I'm talking, you can be checking people's emails. You can respond to customer service stuff. You can be scheduling things or confirming appointments. These are really low hanging tasks. I don't know if everybody here is a mom. My community is primarily moms. I always tell them, if you've kept a human alive, you go to the pediatrician sometimes, or do any of these other, like, you've enrolled them in school or daycare and filled out for, like, then you have the basic skills necessary to be a virtual assistant. What is the value of virtual assistant provides to their clients? Time. What did I already tell you today was like the most valuable resource? Why is money even important? Money is important because it buys you time. Virtual assistants buy their clients time. You have right now, today, without going and learning a new skill, tremendous value to offer your clients. You deserve to be compensated for my work. Say it. I deserve to be compensated for my work. I am always learning and improving. That right there is what Leandra knew. She knew she didn't have to have it all figured out. She knew that she was always learning and improving. Okay? Learning and improving. I don't have to be the best. You do not have to be the best to have a lucrative career as a freelancer. Will you become the best with repetition and learning and improving? Probably. But being the best, those like, what are those called, Megan? I'm not one with the word, like superlatives, right? Always, never, best, word, like, who is the best? I don't know. There are billions of people on this planet. I don't have to be the best, but I'm pretty darn good at what I do. You are too. And if you're not yet, then remember, I am always learning and improving. I am always learning and improving. I deserve to be compensated for my work, and I have tremendous value to offer my clients. All right, let's move on. Myth number 2, you with me? Myth number 2. I think I saw someone ask about a replay. Did you already share that? It'll be right here in the group, guys, but I think Megan will email it out too. Myth number 2, you have to build a bunch of stuff to be legitimate or get clients. This is where I see burnout happen with new freelancers, and they quit before they even start. They give up before they even ever get paid, is because of myth number 2. What does this look like? This looks like you're working. Notice where I use the bunny quotes. It's when I don't really mean the word that I'm saying. You're working, but you don't talk to any people about your business. If you are guilty when I say that, be honest. There's no shame here. This is a safe place. Say guilty. How many of you are working? You're working on your logo. You're working on your branding board. You're working on your plan. That came up in my coaching program this week. I'm working on my plan. I'm working on my business plan. I'm like, how many people have you told about your business? I'm like, no, stop it. Okay. You're busy, air quotes, busy, but you're not making money or enough money in your business yet. You're busy. And I don't like mean with kids. Thank you, Mary, for your honesty. Way to go. What did I say? Self-awareness is the key to unlocking and changing these beliefs. So I'm really proud of you. You're busy, but you aren't making money or enough money. You're getting massive satisfaction from playing in Canva. I get it. Canva is a really fun tool, you guys. Like, I'm not mad at Canva at all. But if you're spending all day working and being busy in Canva, but someone is not paying you to create the things you're creating in Canva, you are procrastinating. So let's call it what it is. You're procrastinating. Jamie, Carlos, and Aaron, you guys are amazing. Thank you for your honesty. And your participation, by the way. You tell yourself you're a perfectionist. Okay, recovering perfectionist here, I understand. But do you guys know that perfection, what I had to do and really separate, because I've been a lifelong high achiever, perfectionist tendencies, perfect, has absolutely nothing to do with high standards. Nothing. I still have high standards, but I am no longer a perfectionist. I say I'm a recovering perfectionist. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, perfect doesn't exist. Everything is subjective. There are always people who will not like you, will not think it's good enough, will not resonate. And that's okay. Because again, there's billions of people in the world. The other thing perfectionism is procrastination. You are telling yourself it's not quite ready. I could do better. But what you're actually saying is, I am afraid of the world judging me for this thing. Ugh, I know. This was me, which is why I hope this hurts so good, because I mean, it was a really painful process to grow out of this belief. I'm not going to lie. Like it hurt because I kept telling myself the lie, the myth that I could do better. Okay. I could do better. And maybe that's true. Maybe you could do better, but you can't actually edit something that you haven't published yet. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, you've got to put it out in the world before you can start to tweak and make it better. Okay. You've redone your website or logo more than once. Again, guilty. I'm not saying never do it, by the way. I'm just saying, like, you know, maybe not all the time. Definitely not before you have people paying you. The reality is it's just not that important. You believe if I build it, they will come. Okay, this is an oldie but goodie for Lauren Golden. I've had this like in many presentations because we do this. And I did this too. When I first started freelancing, or for that matter, my network marketing business, I thought like, okay, now I'm selling this skincare product. Like, where are all my friends and family like pounding down my door to get it? Like, don't they like me? Don't they want to support me? Right? How messed up is that? What a like guilt complex on them that like I decided to start this thing. And now I have this expectation that it's their job or responsibility to come find me and support me. That's not the way that a freelancing business works. You guys, you've got to put yourself out in the world. Okay. You can't just declare you're a bookkeeper or a virtual assistant or a copywriter and then expect that you're just going to get clients just because you said that one time or because you built a website. Nobody's going to the website. There's billions of websites out there. They're not just going to find it on accident. The work here for me looked like not taking it personally. We've got to learn not to take it so personally. Okay. So here are your new beliefs I challenge you with. By the way, feel free to like screenshot these, or if Megan wants, I'm happy to share these slides. If you think they'd be helpful with you guys, I'm absolutely happy to post it in the group or give it to Megan. So let me know if you want the slides. So here are your new beliefs for this myth. I value my time and my energy. I value my time and my energy. If you really value your time and your energy, you are not going to use it all working for free. which is what you're doing when you're playing with your branding and Canva and all of this stuff. You're not valuing and respecting your time or your energy, okay? I choose to focus on income producing activities. Say that loud and proud. I choose to focus on incoming producing activities. For most of us as one-to-one service providers, that looks like talking to people. You can talk in Facebook groups, you can talk in direct messages, you can be on LinkedIn or Instagram. There's lots of places to talk to people. You can go to a networking event, a coffee shop, a park. You can talk to people anywhere. Make sure you're focusing on income producing activities. What's going to grow your network? What is actually marketing? Okay. And then last but not least for this one is I value new connections and relationships. It's my duty. It's my duty to make sure people know how I can help them. You cannot hide your way into a successful freelancing business. You cannot hide your way into a successful freelancing business. So value new connections and relationships. Make it your duty to make sure people know how you can help them.
Say your famous quote.
Oh, if nobody knows what you're doing, how can they connect you with the people you're meant to serve? If nobody knows what you're doing, you guys, how can they connect to you? And then remember what I said earlier, though, we can't have this expectation. It's not your friends and family's job to grow your business for you, which is why we have to value new connections and relationships as well. New connections and relationships. It's my duty to make sure people know how I can help them. Yep. Myth number 3. I don't know if I'm seeing objections or questions, but I'm sure Megan will do it. Guys, we're going to do questions at the end. Like I said, I'll stay as long as we need to. Myth number 3, or until Megan kicks me out. Myth number 3, if you're with me, say number 3, and I see you on the slides. We'll make sure you get them. It's hard to find paying clients. Myth. It's hard to find paying clients. What this looks like, market's too saturated. You're just too late to the freelancing game. You should have started sooner. You'd be further along. Oof, that beating yourself up. Ladies, and if there are gentlemen here, you are not serving yourself if you are constantly berating yourself. You are absolutely punishing yourself and holding yourself back. Forgive yourself, look forward. Okay. Jessica says, is 3 seriously a myth? It is a myth. You should have started sooner. You'd be further along. Your industry or niche is too competitive. So you've got to lower your prices. No one needs the service you provide. To be fair, this one's sometimes true, but in freelancing, there are some businesses where there's no market for it. So you've got to do your market research. But I think we're talking mostly to people who are familiar with what freelancing is: copywriting, bookkeeping, virtual assistants, social media management, design, whatever. People need your services. Okay. If you want to do a Shark Tank pitch later, I'll tell you if I think there's a market, and I'll show you how to do some market research. But for our conversation, this is just not true. There just aren't any high paying clients. They're just not out there. They're illusions, or you just don't know where to find them. Okay. New beliefs. Opportunity is all around me. Opportunity is all around me. Something that happens when, I'm talking to people in Facebook groups, for example, especially the Free Mama community. And it's like, well, I don't know any business owners. And I'm like, yes, you do. You do. We all do. If you get your hair cut or go get your hair done or highlighted or whatever, think about that. If you've ever had to have a plumber over to your house, if you've ever had construction work that needed done or handiwork, business owners are everywhere. They're everywhere. Think about where you shop. Think about you do know a business owner. I'm not saying you're best friends with a business owner, but you are interacting with business owners all the time. The internet is a huge space. There's opportunity everywhere. Remember, we're changing our beliefs. If I believe finding a client is hard, guess what it's going to be? Hard. If I believe opportunity is all around me, my mind literally opens up. You will literally see things that you could not see before when your mind was shut down and closed to the opportunity. Listen to this one. I attract what I put out into the world. I attract what I put out into the world. Use a few words right now, just play along if you don't mind, in the chat to describe me. I know some of us just met. That's okay. Use a few words to describe me. How would you describe me right now? I know we've got a little delay, so I'm going to wait. Use a few words to describe me during this presentation. 2 or 3 adjectives. Confident, thank you. That comes from lots of experience. If you would like, I don't know if it's, I'm assuming Kirsten, if you would like to join the Free Mama Movement Facebook group and go to media and go way back to the early videos from when I first started, you will not call me confident. I was about to piss myself. I'm not going to lie. I was so terrified when my business coach first told me to start going live, I was like, no. She's like, yeah. I'm like, no, there's no way. But I've been doing this for 5 years. Remember where I said confidence comes from? Experience. You have to do it. Real. Thank you, Danielle. Energetic, passionate. Kendall, that's kind of what I was looking for. I'm not going to lie. I was fishing a little bit. Positive. Thank you, Sarah. Outgoing, confident, energetic. I attract what I put out in the world. I am giving you guys energy and passion and confidence, right? There's like an energetic exchange happening. Guess what comes back to me in the form of clients, money, opportunity, friendship. You attract what you put out in the world. So if you are sitting, and I'm not saying be me, so let's just be clear about that. What I am saying is we have to look at our beliefs. If you are feeling negative and discouraged and closed off, how will you possibly find clients? The only thing that's hard about finding clients is what happens between your ears. Not going to lie to you. It just is. The answers are there. Like I said, the strategies are there. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, and I'll answer some questions. But you attract what you put out in the world. I deserve to be compensated for my work. I think we said that before, but we'll say it again. I deserve to be compensated for my work, and selling is serving. Some of us are afraid to actually have sales conversations because we feel bad, or we're afraid to charge a certain amount because we're like, we don't have that belief in ourselves. But if I don't sell you something, if Megan doesn't sell you something, how can we help you change your life?
Right. I've heard it as we're being selfish if we don't sell it to you.
Yes. And especially as women, like we've just all had so many negative sales interactions where someone sold us something we didn't want or we didn't need. Now, I'm not telling you to go do that. You don't need to go push business owners who don't need a virtual assistant or a social media. Like that's not the type of clients you should be wanting to work with. There is an abundance of people out there searching for a virtual assistant or social media manager right now. And to not sell to them is wrong because they literally need your help. They need it. Okay, let's keep going because, actually I'm doing okay on time. Number 4, you guys with me? I'm going to take a sip of coffee. You tell me you're with me. Iced coffee, Britney Spears. That's all you need to know. Okay. Myth number 4, you have to apply for freelancing jobs. I don't know about you, Megan, in this community, but I see so many people applying for jobs and then getting discouraged inside of the Free Mama Movement Facebook group daily. You do not have to apply for freelancing jobs to be a freelancer. You can, it's a path, but like I mentioned, it can be a discouraging path. And there's a couple things that happen mentally. So that's what I want to focus on. If you want to keep applying for jobs, that's fine, but let's change your beliefs around it first. Here's what it might look like or sound like for you. You're still in the employer-employee relationship mindset, right? You need a job, right? They're going to be your boss. They're your superior in a freelancing relationship. The client is interviewing you or choosing you. Instead of approaching it as a discovery call, you are approaching sales conversations as interviews. It's a big mindset shift, okay? You're always looking for the next project. You're trading your time for money. This is Brittany. She's amazing. Brittany actually started as a intern. So she was working unpaid when she first started her freelancing journey. But during that time, as she was building her confidence through experience, she got into copywriting and creating content. And she actually learned through the Free Mama Movement about doing retainer-based pricing. So rather than selling a set number of hours and kind of being in this very employer-employee type of dynamic, she learned how to really be a partner to the people she was working with and how to charge for the value of the service that she was providing to them rather than the time it took her to do it. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts that we have to step into to have a successful freelancing business, because it asks us to think differently about our power and our relationship with money than we've been trained to think our entire life. We've been programmed to be employees since we sat in classrooms back in grade school. It's you sit down, I'm in charge, I'm the teacher, not knocking teachers, educators are amazing, but it's line up, do this, do that. And then we grow up, we become adults, and it's we don't know how to think for ourselves. We think we have to have a boss who's constantly telling us what to do, when to do it, what time to do it by, and releasing this relationship of employee-employer is one of the most important things that you can do to reach success in your freelancing business, regardless of the niche that you're in. So here are the new beliefs I want you to take a look at. I am the boss of my business and my life. I am the boss of my business and my life. I serve my clients as an equal partner. I serve my clients as an equal partner, regardless of what niche you're in. I charge for the value of my work, not the time I work. I charge for the value of my work, not the time I work. Listen to this one. This is important. They need my help more than I need their money. If you believe this, might not be true on paper right now. I understand. I was really super in debt and living paycheck to paycheck when I started freelancing. So I understand that might not be true in numbers, but if you believe it, if you believe that an entrepreneur or company needs your help more than you need their money, you will win. You will win. Myron Golden, not related, but he was my mentor several years ago. And he always said on a sales call, the person who wants it more loses. The person who wants it more loses. So if you're showing up talking to prospective clients and you are needy or desperate, or it is very apparent that you are doing anything to earn their business, you're lowering your prices, you're offering to give them discounts, you're offering to meet them wherever they're at, instead of showing up as an equal partner and showcasing and and yes, there are sales strategies involved in this that we can teach to you. But if you are not showcasing that they need you and shining a spotlight on their problems and the things that they need help with, you will lose every time. Either you won't get the client or you will be working for pennies on the dollar of what you could be charging. This is a huge mindset shift, huge. And it does not matter what's happening on paper for you to actually make this mental change. So I want to read that one more time. They need my help more than I need their money. It's big, you guys. So sit with that one for a second. All right, myth number 5, you have to be an extrovert. I am an extrovert. Megan, are you an introvert or extrovert?
I am an introvert all the way.
And Megan has a, 6-figure agency, coaching business, she's doing all right. She's an introvert. I'm not going to lie to you. I am an extrovert. I have a lot of energy and I love people and I love to touch them when we're in real life. Okay. But you do not have to be an extrovert. In fact, I have worked with 4 business coaches. All 4 of them are introverts. Some of them are famous-y internet people. All 4 introverts. Okay. We use this as a crutch. I see so many people doing this. It is just not true. Okay. So here's what this might look like. You're too shy. You're too shy. You're not outgoing enough. You're not outgoing enough to freelance. You don't have a big network. You don't know a lot of people already. You don't, but these are all excuses, you guys. You live in a small town. Oh my gosh, this doesn't have to do with being an introvert or extrovert, but I put it here because it didn't fit anywhere else. I have heard this from some, I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, who cares? The internet reaches Zimbabwe. It does not matter where you live at all. The beautiful thing about freelancing is that you can work with people from anywhere in the world. My copywriter for years lived in Israel. My first business coach lived in New Zealand. It doesn't matter. I have worked and lived in an RV where we're literally traveling every 3 days. It just doesn't matter. Okay. And as far as your network, will you need to grow your network? Yes, we already talked about that affirmation earlier, right? But it doesn't matter where you're starting. Where you're starting is where you're starting. That's just data. It's just information. It's not a crutch. I'm not going to let you use it as a crutch. I'm here to kick the crutches out from underneath you. You're going to stand on your own 2 feet. You're going to put on your big girl pants and we're going to do this. Okay. So here's what we're going to believe instead. I am enough. Do you know that is it extroversion or extrovertness? I don't know. I'm really bad at words, but my outgoingness for some people is too much. I'm too much. I'm annoying and I'm loud and I'm all like, no, screw that. I'm enough. If you're quiet or reserved or thoughtful or intentional and it takes you time to digest you are enough. You are enough. We are all designed to be who we are. You don't need to be someone else. You are enough. I am courageous. Remember, you're waiting for confidence, but you're going to be waiting for forever. What you are and what you need to be is courageous. And that, my friends, is a decision. It's a decision. I love helping people. You can be an introvert or an extrovert, but if you love helping people, which I believe every aspiring business owner does, I believe every human on some level loves helping people. But if you can remind yourself, you don't have to be outgoing. You don't have to be like some crazy extrovert, but if you just can remember, like, I love helping people. And in order to help people, I have to actually talk to people. It's really going to help you make a difference. Okay. All right. Myth number 6, you have to hustle. Bleh. I hate this word. If you know me, you know I hate this word. You have to hustle, right? This should be hard. This should be hard. I'm not going to lie. The stuff between your ears, the stuff we're talking about today, it's a little hard. It's not a light switch. We got to work on it, but the actual work should not be this hard. Here's what this looks like. You need to cast a wide net in order to find clients. You need to be in all the places all the time so that you can be seen. You'll have to do TikToks and reels and all kinds of uncomfortable, crazy, outgoing, latest marketing trends. Oh, I think I started to delete it and then I kept it. You'll sleep when you're dead. Just kidding, kind of. I don't see this as much with moms because we just don't have a choice, frankly. Like, we have humans who depend on us, but in kind of the bro culture of the internet and of freelancing, like, there is literally this mentality of like, well, I'll just stay up all night. I'm going to work 14-hour day. Like, you do not have to do that. And in fact, I would argue almost everybody doing that is not actually successful. So not worth modeling. And then, this is one for my people who are already freelancing. You're already freelancing, but you're not where you want to be financially. I get this excuse all the time. You cannot niche down because you'd have to let go of certain clients. And this is what I hear, but I really like them. But I really like my client. That's nice. Do you want to scale or do you not want to scale? Do you want to niche down or do you not want to niche? Like, it's okay. It's okay. You are not responsible for everybody else's success and happiness. You're just not. Okay. I want to introduce you to Roger. She's amazing. She did such a great job coming into the community and not subscribing to this hustle culture. Now, did she work hard? Yes, but let me tell you what she worked hard on. She worked intentionally. She actually was going through a pregnancy through a big part of building her freelancing business. So for any of you who've had a baby, you know, you're tired. What she did is she focused. She niched down. She got specific so that she didn't have to do everything to everybody and be everywhere and blah, 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 blah. That's like too tired to even say. And instead, she said, this is who I am. I'm going to focus on building relationships with people. I'm going to focus on becoming known for something. This is my niche. And Megan did this really well, by the way, too. And this is what happens. Like, literally, people will post asking Kajabi related questions and work just comes to Roger. She just doesn't even have to like try that hard. Does she work hard? Yes, she works hard. You're going to have to work. This is not get rich quick. This is not like, you know, passive income lies that people try to sell you. Like, you're going to work, but you don't have to work as hard as you think you do. And you probably don't have to work as hard as you're working right now, quite frankly. You really don't. So we've got to make sure we're being really intentional. So I want you to adopt these beliefs with me. I can do anything, but not everything. I can do anything, but not everything. Believe me, I understand letting go. The free mama movement was my life, my identity for years. Like, I I like dreamt in Free Mama. And when I first brought on an assistant to help me because it just grew bigger than I could handle on my own, it was hard. And I kept saying the same, but I like customer service. Like I like answering emails. I like talking to people and knowing everybody. But the problem was just because I could do that doesn't mean it's where I was best serving myself or my business, right? So I can do anything, but not everything. I work smarter, not harder. God bless it. My Spanish teacher, like my sophomore and senior year of high school, I think she used to say this all the time. Work smarter, not harder. Work smarter, not harder. She was a big fan of the anti-hustle culture. She didn't want people pulling all-nighters studying. She literally taught us how to like not cheat on tests, but use the test to take the test. Did any of you guys like have a teacher who taught you that? Where it's like, you know enough, you're in class. Now, how do we, she was a Spanish teacher, by the way. So like, she would tell us like, if you're missing a word, like look throughout the test and see, is the word somewhere else? Like, is there, you know, she would use it. Like she taught us hacks. Like she was the coolest teacher ever. Shout out Senora Godoy Ramos, Scion, Kansas City. Okay. I work smarter, not harder. She taught me that at like 15 years old. It's one of the best lessons I've ever learned in my life. The riches are in the niches. Okay. We have an entire workshop series where we talk about this, but the riches are in the niches. What that means is you can't be known for everything. You just can't. You're not going to be memorable. So we've got to be willing to get specific with what you do and who you are so other people can really connect with you. And here's another belief I want you to just shout out loud. Business is fun and easy. There should be a level of ease and flow. This is not hard for me right now. And it's part of that is experience, but part of that is like, I freaking love this. I am doing what I was meant to do. I love to teach. I love to inspire. I love to talk. Okay. This does not feel like work for me right now at all, but am I working? Yeah, this is my work day. Okay. So it is possible for you to create a business that is fun and easy. Okay. Are you still going to have to work? Yes, you're still going to have to work. Okay. And myth number 7, freelancing isn't a sustainable career. I call BS. I'm going on my 8th year of full-time self-employment. So we're approaching a decade. That's pretty cool. Megan's been at this for 4 years. Is that right? 4 years. Okay. Here's what this might look like. Maybe you have the feast or famine mentality. This is really common in the freelancing space. I don't actually like try to use this phrase because I don't even want to plant a seed, but I see it. It's this idea of like, you're going to have seasons where you're making money and then you're going to have seasons where you're like dying and desperate and whatever. No. It doesn't have to be like that. In fact, I literally teach freelancing in a systematic way where you're going to have retainer clients and you can add projects to supplement your income and marketing strategies where you're constantly keeping your pipeline full. Like it should not feel like your emotions might feel like a roller coaster, especially if you're a woman, because for me, it matches my period, but that's okay. But like your business, your bank account, it should not be an unpredictable, unstable roller coaster. Okay. There are strategies that you can implement if you have the belief and the right mindset where you can predict your revenue month after month. Okay. You'll always be hunting for clients. First of all, if you're using words like hunting and clients in the same sentence, it's probably why it feels hard to find clients. Okay. We should not be hunting people ever. That does not feel good. Would you like to be hunted? No. All of your income will go to taxes. I pay taxes. Megan pays taxes, but all of your income will not go to taxes. Spoiler alert. If you have worked as a W2 employee, you are paying taxes. You just never saw the money first. Your boss took it out before you even got to know about it. Like you have always been paying taxes. Yes, you will pay taxes as a freelancer. My bookkeepers probably understand this a little bit more than the rest of us, but the rest of us get to come to Megan and Megan's community and hire the bookkeepers to help us. Okay. Something I have to remind myself, and same with your income will be unstable. We kind of talked about that. The next one is what about healthcare? Someone posted in the Free Mama community literally yesterday about this. Like, what about healthcare? Like my husband's job doesn't offer it. So how could I ever leave my job and do this full time? This was my biggest hang up about leaving my job before my miscarriage, you guys. This was absolutely my biggest like logical objection to like, how could we be self-employed? What I had to remind myself is that millions of other people have already figured this out. which means there's an answer. I just need to go figure out the answer. So you are not alone with any of these objections. They are valid concerns. We have been sold this lie. Well, the biggest lie is higher education and colleges, but I won't go into that today. The second lie we've been told is that the only way to have a stable career is go get a degree, get a job, retire, die. That path just simply did not work for me and my lifestyle goals. I will address what I told this person on healthcare, but what I want you to understand from a belief system is there is a path, which means there's a path for you. Okay. We've done the exchange. We now use a private broker to buy private healthcare insurance because, like I told you, my husband's also self-employed. Does it cost money? Yes. But a lot of times, depending on your company, you're paying into healthcare. Again, they're just taking it out before it ever reaches your paycheck. All right. So there are strategies around all of this stuff that will help answer the questions. But if you don't believe them, if you don't believe it's possible for you, the strategies don't matter. You're going to ignore them out of fear. And we're not going to do that. So we're going to, oh, hey, Megan. Megan's a really good example. Okay. Remember what we're talking about? Boop, 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 boop. Myth. Freelancing isn't a sustainable career. I didn't want to use myself as an example. That's boring. So I use Megan. Megan's been doing this for 4 years. She joined the Free Mama movement in March of 2018. So we're past 4 years. She makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in her agency. Now she's got expenses now. So we're not we've got to be honest. Like she's not probably paying herself $300,000 a year. If she is, then she needs to start coaching me,
Yeah.
right? She's got employees, she's got teams, she's got whatever. But like you figure this stuff out. You figure it out. You follow the people who have already done it. You ask the questions, you have the resources, you can figure this out, but you have to first believe it. Okay, we've got Brittany. Brittany started in January of 2019. So that was about 3.5 years ago. Less than 2 years later, she's making $8,000 to $10,000 a month. $8,000 to $10,000 a month. It's been 3.5 years. Sustainable. I wasn't making $8,000 to $10,000 a month when I worked a 9 to 5. I wish, right? So she's doubled, tripled what I made back then. 3.5 years later. Brianna, again, March 2019. So about 3 years, making consistent 4K months. You know, that's a livable wage. That's pretty impressive. And I'm guessing she's doing it in part-time hours. And I'm guessing that she wasn't when she had a 9 to 5. Wendy is another great example. Wendy now works on the Free Mama team, which is super exciting. She joined October 2019, so not quite 3 years ago. She makes multiple 6 figures a year. Now, she's a really great example. She's a nurse practitioner. I don't know if she was at 6 figures or just under it in her career, but I remember the first time I ever met Wendy and she was like, what about high earners? She's like, I'm the primary breadwinner. Like I'm the one with the stable career. Like what is the potential? Well, let Megan and Wendy be an example to you of that. Again, when I started, I just needed like $2,000 a month, but some people turn to freelancing with hope that they can leave like a C-suite office. And that is intimidating because that is a lot of money. And we've been sold a lie that like, that is stable, that is secure. You can do it on your own and you can do it on your own terms. Okay. So here are your new beliefs. I am a money magnet. You're going to feel ridiculous saying it, but say it anyway. I'm a money magnet. Tell me in the chat, money magnet. I attract clients easily and effortlessly. My business will grow as big as my belief in myself. Did you get that one, Megan? My business will grow as big as my belief in myself. Guess what? When I first started freelancing, guess how much money I was making a month? $2,000. Why do you think that is? Because that's all I thought I could make. That's all I had to make was $2,000 a month. And then my belief changed. What if I could make $5,000 a month? Started making $5,000 a month. What if I could make 6 figures? I never, let alone believe I could make 6 figures in my business. I went through a season where I never believed I was a person capable of making 6 figures. I did not believe, I don't know if it was a worthiness thing. I don't know if it is a woman thing. I don't know, but I did, or an industry I worked in kind of thing.
Yeah, I went through that too. I remember finding out my dad made 6 figures and I was like, wow, that's like, I'll never be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's just like not even a possibility for me.
And what do you believe now?
And then I believed that I could, but it's funny that you mentioned like you won't get there until you believe you can get there.
Correct.
You have to
It does
open
not
that
happen the
door.
other way. Or we think it happens the other way around, probably because we want it to. We need
Yeah.
proof, we love proof, but it starts with your beliefs, you guys. My belief will grow, or my business will grow as big as my belief in myself. When you believe that it is easy to find clients, when you believe that freelancing is a sustainable career, when you believe that you are enough and you do not have to be an expert or an extrovert or anything else other than who you are, everything will change for you. Your beliefs shape your reality. Your beliefs shape your reality. If you are listening to this, I feel emotional behind the eyes, but we're going to contain it. If you are watching this and you are dissatisfied with where you are, your current reality, you have to change your beliefs and the reality will follow. Okay. Your beliefs shape your reality. So now if it's cool with you guys, I would love to show you the same framework. It's a little bit different than what Megan walked through because she walked through 1.0, but it's the same methodology, same techniques, my proven freedom framework that has helped thousands of women make real money freelancing that I believe will help you get there faster as well. Freedom is an acronym. It also is very on brand for a company called the Free Mama. It stands for foundation, relationships, exposure, expertise, discipline, overcoming obstacles, and momentum. We're going to walk through each of those and kind of what that means. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. So foundation, what we're going to talk about is, because I get it. We talked a lot about the beliefs and it starts with the beliefs. And I hope you got value. If this was helpful for you and kind of challenged you to think differently, say beliefs, let me know that you're here with me and that you heard something that resonated with you, that now you have an awareness that you can't ignore. And now you get called on to do the work to change those beliefs. This is where the strategies and techniques come in. I'm not saying beliefs are like magic unicorns that just make money land in your bank account, but it is a necessary ingredient and it is the first ingredient. Okay. But these are the steps. So foundation, you might have questions like, how the heck do I set up an LLC? How do I figure out what to offer in my business? This is obviously a group for bookkeepers and other business owners, but maybe bookkeeping isn't the niche for you. Maybe every time I said design or copy, you got a little excited or curious, or maybe bookkeeping feels intimidating and you might feel more confident starting with something administrative or organizational under a virtual assistant umbrella. How do you know what to charge? How do you figure out who needs your services and where the heck they hang out? How do I know what software and systems I actually need to set up versus what's a distraction? What are my income producing activities versus what's wasting time? How do I collect payment? What do I need for taxes? All of these questions will help you set a really strong foundation for your freelancing business. And we walk you through in a really step-by-step way to set that foundation so that you're not guessing. One of my favorite sayings is you don't know what you don't know. And so the fastest way to get where you want to be is to follow someone who's already been there and can answer those questions for you. The next step on the freedom framework is relationships. I'm going to walk you through so that you can learn how to confidently talk to people online and in person about your business. Notice how I didn't use the word sell. I didn't use the word client. I didn't use the word prospect or lead. Building relationships is about talking to people. I don't care if you're an introvert or extrovert. You cannot build a business in secret as a service provider. And I understand that it can feel really hard. I understand that it can be hard to know, when does it turn into a sales conversation? How do I outreach to people and let them know that I'm genuine about growing my network and not being salesy or spammy? And so we have lots of tools and templates to help make this really easy for you and to kind of answer those questions. I saw someone say, like, where do they hang out? Like, well, that's actually not that hard to figure out once you know who you're talking to, because groups of people congregate together. This is a community of bookkeepers and business owners. The Free Mama is a community of freelancing moms. One pro tip I'll give you is that a lot of freelancers end up joining 300 to 500 Facebook groups that are for freelancers. That's not bad. There are job ops posts in the Free Mama movement all the time, but think about it. Do you think maybe that's fueling your story that the market's saturated and everybody's doing what you're doing? Well, yeah, if you're only surrounding yourself with people who are doing what you're doing and not other industries of people who might be hiring what you do. So that's just something for you to kind of nibble on. The first E stands for exposure. This is about visibility. This is about marketing. So relationships is about networking. Networking is the most powerful activity you can do in your business. Why? Because networking means exponential growth. If I can get Megan to know, like, and trust me and know what I do, I now have access to Megan's entire audience as well. This is when referrals in business becomes huge. Remember Roger, how everybody was tagging her online for the Kajabi expert? Go search Megan's name in the Free Mama Movement Facebook group, or just search bookkeeping or accounting. You'll see her name quite a bit, right? This is a technique we talk about. We'll actually talk about it here in a second again. Exposure is about visibility or marketing. Notice again, I haven't said the word client or sales at all, because a lot of people come out and we start hunting. We're hunting, we're looking for clients. Like they're all just lined up waiting for us to go hang them on our wall. Like that's not the way that the business works, right? Go be a good human. So I'm going to show you exactly how to market your services online without you having to feel like you're on your device 24/7. If you want to do TikTok, cool. If you don't, even better, because guess what? For a lot of us, it's just a really big distraction, right? If you are a one-to-one service provider, you just flat out don't need to be doing a lot of those tactics. Again, if it's fun, business should be fun. I like it because I'm goofy, but you don't have to do that to get a client. In fact, very rarely will it actually deliver you a one-to-one freelancing client. The next is expertise. I just said this actually, but become known for something. So when we talk about expertise, we're going to take the experience you're starting to get from building that foundation, getting started. Where does confidence come from? Experience. Where does clarity come from? Thinking? No, clarity comes also from doing, from experience. So by the time you get to the second E, the experience part of the freedom path, or excuse me, the expertise part, you're going to have a little bit more information about what you like to do. And I'm going to challenge you to push forward and actually become known for that thing. Can you still change your mind in the future? Yes. Is there a roadmap for you to increase your online presence, increase your rates, and narrow down your services so that you're working fewer hours doing a specified thing that you can now master and get really, really good at over time and become known for that thing and have people come to you for it? That's the meat and potatoes right there. Okay. But it's not where we start, and you can't learn your way to that step. You have to do the steps before it to actually get there. Okay. Next is discipline. Okay. I love this. To me, this is what makes the Free Mama movement different than a lot of other resources that you can find online. I'm a mom. I have 3 children. I also have a husband who I try not to neglect, since that's what I did for about 2 years in 2014 and 2015. And I have hobbies, and I want to take care of myself, and I want to watch The Bachelor sometimes. And like, I want to have a life, but you can't have a life and have the bank account you want if you don't learn to have better self-discipline. And I think, again, one of the things that makes the Free Mama movement and the Freedom Path different is that it's for moms by moms. Now, we've had dads and fur parents and all that kind of stuff go through the program too. This helps any human, but there is a level of understanding that I think you will get from me that you will not get from other resources online. But what we really focus on in discipline is consistency, confidence, and commitment. And that's not just to your clients. That's not just to your business either. It's to yourself as a human. Like, something I ask people all the time is like, how's your soul? And this is something that we take a look at. We also then focus on overcoming obstacles. Part of our overcoming obstacles has to do with external challenges through clients, but a big part of what we talk about is limiting beliefs and how we work our way through them. So if you liked today's training and talking about these beliefs, and you have maybe suffered with imposter syndrome or perfectionism or procrastination or anything else that you feel like is holding you back from getting the results that you want, we have an entire support training to help you navigate these thoughts and know that you're not alone, and get to the other side of improving your money mindset, improving your confidence, improving your sense of self-worth, so that you can really have the business and life that you want to have. And last but not least, the M stands for momentum. Can't remember. Nope, that was it. The last thing is momentum. I saw something even just this morning in the Free Mama Movement Facebook group, you guys, where someone was asking, how do I stay motivated? Like, I've been at this for 3 weeks. I'm not where I want to be. How do I stay motivated? Okay. I went through a really hard time. Those of you who know me, I went through a really hard time with my daughter at the end of last year. It's something that's still continuing, but it definitely hit like the hardest time in my life, like last December of 2021. And how do you do something when you don't want to? Like, how do you show up when you barely have anything to give? What does that look like so that you don't burn out or resent your business or resent your clients? So a lot of this has to do with developing healthy habits. And I am not perfect. There are always things I'm working on. My husband right now cut out all added sugar from his diet. I'm trying. I'm not taking it as seriously as him, but like it's inspiring me to do better. Like our habits are not just our habits in our business or a relationship with our clients. Like it's our relationship with our family members. It's our relationship with our body. It is our relationship with our mind. It is our relationship with our spirit and our soul. Like there are a lot of things that will impact your ability to stay motivated in your business. And like, we go there together in the Free Mama. Like we're a family. I coach to the whole person. It is impossible just to build a business and not actually work on yourself at the same time if you want to turn this into an actual lifestyle like Megan and I have. So that's the freedom path. Remember, my goal for you guys is to speed up your results. That's what
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. I just think that's amazing. I'll scroll back up to see if there was any questions we missed too.
Yeah, I'm going to turn off my stop share so they can see my now hot, sweaty face.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to my face. I think it was showing for a while and then it clicks on something and it disappeared. I know earlier Jessica Hamlin had asked, where do they hang out? And that's something that you said you cover in the course.
Absolutely. And
helping them figure
I
out
kind of
where
gave,
to hang out.
well, I kind of gave a little pro tip is you've got to figure out who you're talking to, you know,
Right.
you have to be able to answer the question, like who needs my service? Who has the problem I can solve or a problem I can solve, and kind of reverse engineer it from there. We'll also cover that during the 23-day challenge as well.
I'm so excited for that. That's going to be super cool too. I saw that in your group. Yeah, and
you guys with us, was this helpful? Let me know.
Yeah, if you don't have any questions, at least say, I'm still here. Make sure, because I see that I've said several things in a row. Okay, cool.
Finishing down. Once I found my niche, my client base grew. That's awesome. Josie says, once she found her niche, her client base grew. It's the opposite of the like, I have to cast a wide net belief. Leave this.
All right. So Evelyn has a question. I've listened to courses that say you don't need a niche. How do you ladies feel about that?
I think that you have to start before you feel like you have it figured out. I see a lot of people staying stuck for a long time and they're just like, I don't know. I don't know. So what I will walk you through, Evelyn, is, so the second E in the freedom framework is when we get to expertise. So I don't want you to worry about like becoming an expert or like becoming the best or like any of these things that aren't even true, but even like sharpening your tools. I don't want you to worry about that until we get there, because until then, remember, you already know enough to be of value to someone. So what I would say is the riches are in the niches. That's one of our beliefs, meaning you can charge more when you have a specific niche. You will become known for something when you have a specific niche, but you don't have to wait for that to actually start getting your clients. You should start first. So we're going to identify who in your network is a business owner. Where can you start networking to grow your professional network and paying attention? Something that will make you a very good freelancer is being more observant and doing more listening. Okay. So what are people asking for help with that you think you could solve? You think you could be helpful. I first learned about the virtual assistant and online business management space because I went and had coffee with a business coach. I'd never even heard of business coaching. I met her at an in-person business or like networking event. I'd never heard of business coaching before. I just moved to the area and I was like desperate for friends. And I just asked if I could take her out to breakfast because in my mind, she like seemed so smart and successful. And she is. But I was listening to her at breakfast, just like complain. She's like, I have this neighbor who's like helping me with stuff, but like, she's dropping all these balls and like, she's not good. And I'm just sitting there listening and I'm like, I can do all of that. Like, I've never done it before, but in my mind, I'm like, I can send email reminders. Like I can do these things. You can do it too, Evelyn. So the courses that say you don't need a niche, my response to that is you don't need a niche to start, but the faster you get one, the faster you will grow more quickly and be able to charge.
Totally agree. Yeah, I was thinking it's all in the timing of it. Like there's no just one answer. And I think that's where people get confused. Like trying to just do it too soon or going about it the wrong way. So I love that.
I see you, Chris. Thank you. We actually I have a free Papa t-shirt because we do have a couple of men inside of our programs as well. So I really appreciate that. I am not gender bias. Becoming a mom was just a really, really big story for me, and getting into freelancing. I would not probably have become a business owner without becoming a parent. But yes, we love everybody. We are equal opportunity with people who share our values, that are freedom motivated, good people who, want to over deliver and just live an awesome life. So I'm super glad you're here. Thank you for the feedback.
Absolutely. Okay, Jessica's asking, how do you navigate wanting to increase your rates with a client after you see the workload?
My first thought when you just said, I like to go with my intuition, so I'm not too planned out on that, Jessica. My first thought is like learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity, especially if you're brand new. Almost everyone undercharges when they first start. So I would ask myself, how can I do better? How do I price differently next time? What changes do I need to make to my contract or my proposal to make sure I'm not in this position again? And what are the boundaries going to be around this relationship? So, I know, oh balls, I know, but hey, guess what? What a great lesson to learn. Because here's the deal. One of the top 5 questions I get always on a daily basis has to do with pricing. Always. You now know what you will not charge again. And you didn't have that information before this client. So again, we talked a lot about beliefs and mindset today. Rather than being pissed off about it, find some gratitude for it, because now you know, and you'll never make that mistake again. I think we've got kids walking in. I locked my door. I moved to the basement so I can have a lock on my door. I'm very
well. I locked it, but we need some other stuff too, because you can still hear everything in here.
Oh my goodness.
Get to that door.
So with that being said, Jessica, well, and I don't know all the details. I don't know how much time Megan wants to spend on coaching stuff, but what I will say is these are the types of comments and questions that we navigate through on our group coaching calls in the squad. So this is a very common problem. You are not alone. You didn't mess up. You didn't do anything wrong. When we know better, we do better. So if you signed like a 1-year contract with this person, that's a hard lesson. I might be looking at, were they misleading on the scope? Are we outside of the scope of what we originally agreed to? Like it might be a situation where you can go back and renegotiate. It might be a situation where you just have to be grateful that you learned the lesson, do an amazing job. Don't burn the bridge. Don't not follow through, like be a person of integrity and like massive service, but then learn from it and make sure you do better next time so that you don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might just be a lesson that you were meant to learn. If you had charged more at the beginning, maybe they wouldn't have said yes, and you wouldn't have gotten this lesson, and then you would find it out later with someone else. So just consider it something helping you move forward, I think, too.
I love Tony's question so much. Do you want to read it?
Tony. Can you talk more about competition? What if someone else who does accounting is presenting and going to the same local industry events that I go to?
Okay, so I don't really believe in competition, and this is another belief reframe. Okay, so kind of like we talked about, the market's too saturated, like, I should have started sooner, like so-and-so is better than me, or I've got to undercharge to stand out, all these different things. I don't believe in competition except with myself. The only person I'm in competition with myself, or the only person I'm in competition with is myself, to be better than yesterday, to do better than yesterday, to improve my relationships, to continue to grow. I'm really competitive in my yoga class, which sounds really ridiculous because yoga should probably not be a competitive activity. But like where it started is like, I felt myself getting stronger. And so then I was like, I wonder if there was like a girl in the class who was always doing tricks. And I'm like, I wonder if I can learn how to do a headstand. And then I did, and I got really good at it. I've even done it on a paddleboard, and I was like, so proud of myself.
Wow.
And so now I'm trying to learn how to do a handstand, like where I hold myself. It's really hard. I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger, but it's the same in business. Like the only person you should be worried about being in competition with is yourself. What do you need to do, like our friend Jessica, to serve your clients better, to have a stronger business model, to have more clarity? Like that's it. Everybody else, of course, there's other people who do what I do, but can I tell you something? Megan very much could have looked at me as competition. She could have been like, well, I'm teaching freelancers. You can't come in my Facebook group. So again, it's a different belief system, right? There is plenty to go around. There is opportunity everywhere. There is an abundance of opportunity, because guess what? This guy or gal who's going to your local events, that is just one other accountant in the world. There are like thousands of you guys, if not hundreds of thousands, if not more, right? Like there are a lot of accountants. So what I would think about is, instead of focusing on the competition, try to work on your like abundance opportunity mindset. And I would be focusing on like, what are my points of differentiation? So is it a different niche that you serve? Is it a different, like, do you have different offers? Maybe you do stuff with taxes, but they don't, or vice versa. Do you specialize in e-commerce? Like, I don't know, Megan can talk about the bookkeeping side of things, but like, what makes you different? And I would also remember, like, Megan's an introvert. I'm an extrovert. Like, we have very different personalities. We get along really well, but like, we're very different. Some people might've gotten on at the beginning of this, heard me talk and been like, whoa, she's not my person. And that's okay. There's going to be people at this event who like meet this competitor in air quotes, and they're not going to like them for no other reason than not everybody has chemistry. And that's okay. In fact, it's more, once we can get okay with this, it's actually more than okay, because it reminds us that there's more than enough to go around. You're not going to like every business owner you encounter, and they're not all going to like you. And on the flip side, the same is true for this competitor. So like, who are you? How can you stand out as a human by like really I love Britney Spears. I love iced coffee. Like, again, some people probably think I'm really annoying. Guess what? I don't care anymore. I used to care a lot, but I've done a lot of work on my belief system. And my belief system now says, if you can't like me for who I really am, are you actually somebody I want to be around? Because this is who I really am. And so I think there's some like self-love and acceptance that needs to happen, a little bit of mindset work, and then just focus on your differentiators when it comes to being a business owner. But should you keep going? Yes. Should you make friends with the other accountant? Also, yes, because guess what? If you've got different price points or whatever, like, you can be a source of referrals, right? So be friends with your would-be competitors. You're going to have a lot happier life, honestly.
Yeah. And just doing that will make you stand out, and she'll probably be impressed, because she might be thinking, oh, competition.
Maybe not, but that's her job.
Right. But you come up and you're like, hey, I do this too. And that'll make a big impact on her.
I think so too. Yeah.
Cool.
Attitude.
Yeah, there's attitude. Talking about positive ways to spin that. Let's see.
Yeah, Chris. So that's like finding your differentiators, right? What is she doing well? What's she not doing well? Where can you be better or different or whatever? Yeah. And
yeah, like listening
is good, because competition also means there's a demand, right?
Right.
When you look around and not one other person on the internet or planet Earth is doing what you're doing, unless you are, an inventor, it's typically not a good thing, right? Like, we want there to be some level of demand, because it means that there's going to be work for us there. But we also have to figure out, what makes us unique, both from our offers, but also just our personalities already are differentiators for us. Come hang out.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging with us. Thank you so much, Lauren, for coming in. If any other questions pop up, Lauren is in this group with us too.
Yep.
And so
tag me.
Yes, tag her so she sees it, and we'll make sure all of your questions are answered. But like, don't forget about this amazing offer that she told you guys today. And I am not putting on a show, being excited. Like I'm genuinely like really excited about it. That's what makes my job today so easy and fun, is because I'm like, oh, that sounds so awesome. Oh wait, I already have that. Okay.
That's
All
awesome.
right, but thank you so much. We'll see
Yeah.
y'all later.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.